Welcome to Talk of the Town. I'm Justin Riley. Pegasus Games has been Madison's official gaming store for over 30 years, and we are joined in our studio by our good friend Lori Aitken, who is the boss lady of Pegasus Games. She's going to talk to us a little bit about the holiday game fair that's going on December 6th and the Calypso Christmas, which is happening on December 20th, and a variety of other items as well. Lori, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you.
So good to have you back here again with us today. How have you managed to stay in business for over 3 decades?
Well, we wonder that ourselves, but we are very dedicated to finding the games that people will enjoy. We try to match it to their likes and dislikes, or the likes and dislikes of the person they're getting a gift for.
Right on. And you have a variety of opportunities to actually play games in your store. What sorts of games are played in your store?
We have gaming in the store every day of the week. We have role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinder. We have board games like some of the things that I have out front here. We have miniature games. Star Wars is there. We also have Warhammer and War Machine, which are tactical war games, basically, played with miniatures anywhere between 1 and 4 inches high.
Sure. Now, there might be some people out there who think, Pegasus Games, that's for hardcore gamers. Are there games for people like me who maybe isn't a hardcore gamer?
We love to introduce people to quality board games. What we sell are not roll your die and move the piece games, and they appeal to your brain, although they're a lot of fun and don't have to be stressful. But yes, we have cooperative games, and we have lots of board games and card games for families and get-togethers with friends.
Very awesome. Now, I've heard of this game that's very popular right now called Cards Against Humanity, and supposedly it's not available in any stores.
They have not yet made it available to retailers. But we do have a game that serves the same basic purpose, only you get to fill in the answers on the cards you play, so you can personalize the game, and it is called Say Anything. And we think that's a very fine party game if you don't want to track down Cards Against Humanity online.
Wow, so you have kind of an alternative in case somebody just wants to walk into your store.
It is a lot of fun.
Very cool, very cool. Tell us a little bit about cooperative gaming.
Cooperative games is a new category, and it's basically everybody playing together against the game. Pandemic, which I have right here, is one of the first and still the most popular, and coincidentally came out long before the second Ebola epidemic hit. So it is a team of specialists competing to keep outbreaks from taking over the world. There are some cooperative games where everyone's on the same team till partway through the game, and then someone finds out they're the traitor, and they start secretly trying to work against everybody else.
What ages do you have games for? I mean, is it just for older kids, or do you have games for younger kids? What do you have going on there?
The youngest age we can accommodate is 3. We have a good selection of games for like 3 to 7, or what I call children's games, and I try to pick games that adults aren't going to want to chew their arm off to get away from. But most of our games are for 8 and up, and I do mean and up. Games are for adults. Adults are kids that are bigger and have responsibilities.
Right.
But they need to play too, and we like to help them do that.
We all need to have time to play.
We do.
We don't take enough time to do that nowadays.
It's true.
Tell us about the holiday game fair going on December 6th and the benefit that goes along with that.
Right. The holiday game fair is a fundraiser or donation raiser for the Lusher Community Center. We encourage people to check out the Lusher Community Center wish list, which is on their webpage with a link on our event calendar. And so for a small donation, it doesn't have to be much, can be money or a game or other item from their wish list. And we just run games all day, and we have volunteers who are running their favorite games that they're very excited about, and we like to keep them short so people can try as many games as they want to see if they want to give or get that game for the holidays.
Awesome. If you're watching this before Black Friday, then I would encourage everybody to go out and check out Pegasus Games' what is it called? The "We're here so early, we're still in our pajamas" sale?
Correct.
I got that right?
Yes, you did.
Yes, yes.
That's our
So
answer to the doorbuster that all the big stores have.
that's your version of the
That's our
doorbuster.
version.
Can you tell us in maybe 20 seconds or less about your Calypso Christmas that you're having on December 20th?
Calypso Christmas is our answer to the frantic last Saturday before Christmas. We have music playing. We'll give you a little umbrella for your soda if you buy one. We all dress festively, and we try to keep it happy and light and help people get their shopping done.
Awesome. Lori Aiken, thank you so much for being in our studio today. Go check them out, Pegasus Games. Find the gift that is right for the person you are giving it to at Pegasus. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town. Welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are now going to be talking about everyday fitness for everyday people, and I'm joined by Rebecca Ligon, who is the owner of The Fit on Monroe Street. Rebecca, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Justin.
Yeah, so good to have you here today. How can busy people find time to stay fit?
It's a good question, and no one understands a busy lifestyle better than I am. A working mother of 4 children, and I want it all when it comes to fitness. I want the cardiovascular endurance to run a 5K. I want the strength to run across or race my kids across the monkey bars. And I want to not feel any pain from what I've done the night, then the evening after, and be able to get up the next day and do it all again. So the Fit's created a class called Formula Fit, which does all of that in one class. And when done in the right training zones, it only needs to be done 2 or 3 times a week. So it's really about training smart, doing the right things for the right amount of time.
Right on. Now, I imagine that in your business, half the battle is getting people into the gym, but that the other half of the battle is motivating them to work hard while they're there so that they get the results that they're expecting. So how do you do that? How do you motivate people to work hard?
It's true. The hardest thing is getting them to walk through the door. Once they're there, our classes are small, so no class is ever bigger than 10 people, which creates a feeling of accountability for everyone who attends. So it's not just about like coming and doing your workout, it's showing up, seeing your friends, people know you're there. So in days you might be thinking about skipping, not only are you gonna miss something, but someone's gonna miss you too.
So there's sort of an accountability aspect there when you do it in a smaller group.
Right,
You're
absolutely.
not just a number, in other
right,
words.
absolutely. We know when you're there and we know when you're not there, and it helps.
Yeah, I imagine. So what about technology? Can people use technology to help reach their fitness goals?
Sure, there are many different things on the market right now. The Fit uses wearable technology in our classes that allows clients to monitor their effort. And at any given time during a class, there are color-coded tiles that appear on a screen in the gym. So clients can say or can see whether or not they need to give a little bit more at this point, maybe pull back or just keep right on doing what they're doing. And it's a great way to optimize results and keep clients focused.
Excellent. So they can kind of see instant feedback of
Right,
how
it's
they're
real-time information about their body.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. So we're about 4 or 5 weeks from the new year, and I'm sure there are people who are already thinking about what their New Year's resolutions are going to be. How can, what advice do you have for people who are already thinking about that kind of thing right now?
Sure, resolutions have such a bad reputation, right? Like it's almost as if they're made to be broken.
Yeah.
So I challenge people this year, instead of a resolution, make a commitment to being more active, eating better, getting good sleep, doing good for their body overall.
Yeah, and once someone has committed to getting in shape, what kind of information do you feel is going to be most helpful for them?
Sure, it's not going to be easy. No, it's going to be difficult. It's a lot easier to sit home on the couch, right? But once you get going, get comfortable with being uncomfortable, go someplace new, try something different. It's going to be good for your body. The payoff is going to be huge, mentally and physically.
Yes. And I like that phrase that you used, get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Super important. It does not feel good a lot of the times, especially getting started in a workout routine, but it feels so awesome once you've done it.
Absolutely, yeah. And sometimes it's hard for us to see even, 30 minutes into the future that, hey, I'm going to feel great after I do this.
Right,
So,
the results are almost immediate in terms of just that good feeling.
absolutely, yeah. And the more you do it, the better it gets each time and the easier
Exactly,
it gets. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are there fitness classes for everyone at the Fit?
Yes, and we have a great program at the FIT called the Fit In program, which kind of holds clients' hands in getting started, teaches clients how to move their body in the right way so they don't get injured, makes them familiar with the equipment that we use, the format. So by the time they enter a class where people have been doing the class already for a while, they're ready to go, they feel like they can do it, and they're going to succeed.
They're going to be successful. So we're talking about commitments, not resolutions.
Right.
We're talking about accountability because we've got smaller class sizes.
Yes.
So people know when you're not there, they notice it.
Right.
And we're talking about getting comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
All great things. Well, Rebecca Ligon, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And your website is thefitonmonroe.com.
Yes.
Check out
it out.
thefitonmonroe.com for more information, and we'll see you there. Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. We are joined in the studio by our very good friend Jenny Addis, who is the founder for Inspiration Speaks. Jenny, welcome back to CW57.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here again.
Yeah, it's always good to have you and see a friendly face around the studio. So.
You too.
I just have to ask first, how did you, since you're the founder, how did you come around to founding Inspiration Speaks?
Well, that's an interesting topic because if you can imagine that I haven't been in a wheelchair my whole life. On March 16th of 1997, I actually was in a tragic drunk driving accident that literally changed my life forever. So that night I was having a bachelorette party for my future sister-in-law, and my boyfriend / fiance at the time had offered to be my designated driver, but ended up showing up to pick me up and had been drinking. And we were on our way home, and he started driving erratically at a high rate of speed, going about 85 miles an hour, and decided to pass another vehicle on the right-hand shoulder of the road. And from that point on, you can just imagine what happened next. So we went off and over a ditch and rolled a few times, smashed into a tree, and the next time I had opened up my eyes, I was lying on the ground and I couldn't breathe, I couldn't move. I was calling out for help and literally wasn't sure if I was even alive at that point in time. And the next time I opened my eyes again, I was in the ICU with my family looking over my, limp and lifeless body. And I had no idea at that moment that I was actually a C5, C6 quadriplegic. So if you can imagine, that was a lot to take in. So I literally was lost and didn't know what I was going to do with my life from there. And that's when Inspiration Speaks came around. I ended up becoming Miss Wheelchair Wisconsin in 2001, which actually jump-started my career as a motivational speaker, and that's what I do today, and that's what Inspiration Speaks is about. I feel like Inspiration speaks volumes, and I feel like my story is very inspiring and motivating on many different levels, and Inspiration Speaks just said it all.
That's wonderful that you were able to take something that was in the moment very negative and turn it into a positive over the long run.
Yeah.
That is very inspirational. What is the mission of Inspiration Speaks?
Well, basically what I try to go out and do when I go out and speak, I go to schools and colleges and universities, and I talk about a variety of different topics and that kind of thing. And my mission is basically to share my story, my negative experience, to kind of help people to realize that you can take any negative situation and turn it into a positive.
Yes, yes. Can you give us some examples of some of the topics that you might talk about?
Well, obviously there's the obvious, the consequences of drinking and driving. But in this day and age, I feel like, our young people have so many more peers or pressures out there than we did when we were even younger. So I actually shifted that a little bit, and I talk a little bit more about the consequences of reckless driving as well. So the texting and driving and,
right.
all the other kind of pressures that go along with it. And, I talk about unhealthy relationships because I was in a very unhealthy relationship when that had all, prior to my accident and after my accident. So I have a lot to share about that too. young women and young men even, because, they have those kind of pressures in their lives. And, I even talk to groups like occupational and physical therapists. I had a very good relationship with my OT who changed my life literally forever. And honestly, I don't think I would be who I am today without her. So I really have a really kind of a soft spot for that area as well. So I do a lot of speaking about that as well.
Yeah, and it also sounds like you've really kind of broadened your horizons in terms of some of the topics that you cover as our society continues to evolve and change. That's very cool. Tell us how we can get involved in Inspiration Speaks.
Well, it's actually really easy. If somebody wants me to come and speak at their school or their college or university or a conference or a convention or any kind of area like that, all they need to do is actually contact me. It's pretty easy.
Very cool. Jenny, thank you so much for being in our studio and sharing your experiences with us. And if you want to get involved, the website is inspirationspeaks.me. Inspirationspeaks.me. We'll be right back with more Talk of the Town.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, welcome back to Talk of the Town. We're going to be talking about how to develop traditional values and martial arts in our modern culture. And I'm joined in the studio now by instructor Chris Misaki and Grandmaster Peter Peck of Peck's Traditional Martial Arts. Welcome to the program, guys.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. So tell us, what makes your school different from other martial arts schools?
Main thing, we've been serving the Madison community for 40 plus years. We teach traditional martial arts, and big difference between traditional martial arts and just stuff that's being done kind of on the spot. So I think that the whole in teaching martial arts, I think when you filter out the stuff that was developed thousands of years ago, and it's been passed down, that where the good techniques are kept and bad techniques and bad concepts are thrown out, then it's proven through the test of time that it works. And what worked then should work today, because people are still people.
Right.
So
fundamentally, we're still all the same.
right.
Yeah.
So
you have a really heavy emphasis on the word traditional martial arts. Can you elaborate on that, what traditional martial arts is?
traditional martial arts is something that's anything that's traditional is passed down from generation to generation to generation.
Sure.
Mathematics, everybody knows 2 + 2 = 4. That's traditional math. And we all understand that. It's something we can all appreciate, we can all understand it, and it's something that we can, when we pass the traditional values that comes with training in traditional martial arts down to our children, I think in this society that those values they're not emphasized or taught enough. So in a lot of ways that seems to be, that seems to lead to other problems within the family and in the society itself. Right. So in traditional martial arts, we try to teach the same values that the people would benefit from as they grow. We teach the same values through martial arts training.
Very cool. And can you guys tell us a little bit about some of the specific classes or programs that you offer at Peck's Martial Arts?
Well, we've got family classes where the ages range anywhere from 4 to 74 years old.
Wow.
We've got adult classes that feature things like women's self-defense. We've got a fantastic kids program with kids of all ages, but we make sure to split them up so that we've got kids that sort of need more attention, that need more emphasis on that structure that kids so badly need these days. You know, we've got that set up for very young kids, whereas older kids, we've set up programs for them that are a lot more challenging. And then we've got a wonderful after-school program that's been going on at our West Side School for quite some time, and we've just started up fresh at our East Side School. That's going really strong, and it's an opportunity for parents and kids to have a really convenient way to get to our classes, and then have the rest of the night to do things like work on homework or extracurriculars, or just spend time with their families, which, you know, these days with kids and how much they're programmed is really tough.
Yeah, absolutely. It's seems to be lacking family time in a lot of different ways in our society.
And that particular program, the after-school program, has produced some great kids, and we've been able to get our lessons home much more readily because of the consistency in the training of being able to have that consistency right after school. And I think that makes a huge difference in how well they progress and how fast they progress.
Very cool. Talk to us a little bit about how you guys serve the community through PAX Traditional Martial Arts.
We produce really great kids. We're really proud of how wonderful, how respectful, and yet how fun our kids are. Particularly, and as he said, in our after-school program, we've seen over time these kids go from being kids who are good kids, just being amazing leaders and inspiring kids that are younger than them, kids that are lower in rank in our system than them, just get better and better and better. And we hear so many reports from parents saying, you know, oh, you've affected our kids' lives in such a positive way. They're doing better in school. Their friendships are better. They have better relationships with us, and we love seeing that and hearing that.
So it's really about producing citizens. I mean, that's kind of the focus.
Responsible kids.
Right, absolutely. If someone wanted to join PAX Martial Arts, how would they do it?
Well, give us a call. We've got introductory classes going on all the time. One of our favorite ways to go, especially with very young kids, is starting off with a brief evaluation with one of our black belts and making sure that they're ready for the school and ready for the right program.
Mr. Masaki and Grandmaster Pak, thank you so much for joining us today. So informative. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's all for Talk of the Town. We'll see you next time.